Hello and welcome to Decoding Attachment Styles. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what you can expect from an avoidant attached person during the holidays. And we are upon the holidays, so I think it's a great time to get prepared for it because it can be quite confusing when it comes to avoidant attached styles persons. What we're looking for is connection, and these are individuals who need to feel like they're still in control of themselves and their autonomy, that they have a say in, what they want to do and what they don't want to do. They can easily get overwhelmed. And we know that from time to time, if you've been with an avoidant attached person for a long period of time, you may already understand this or appreciate it, that they get into their heads and they get quiet and they don't like the socializing. If you've just started dating someone who's got an avoidant attachment style, this might be a little more confusing for you. And on this particular podcast episode, what I want to do is break down 5 things that's really going on here. What's going on in their heads? What are they thinking? What are they trying to do? And what you can do instead of what you've already planned. Because if you're anxiously attached, you've got a packed schedule, and that's not going to work for someone who's got an avoidant attachment style. Let's talk about the 5 things. Before I get into them, though, how about you hit that subscribe button so that every time there's a new episode out, you are going to be the first to get them. Now let's get to it. One of the things that bothers them the most is that everyone is up in their business during the holiday seasons. So what's going on in their head? They're thinking, I can't breathe. Every day it's another party, another dinner, it's another person expecting to be on my best. They have zero time, or they believe that they have zero time to just be themselves. And their own life, what they want to do, what their schedule looks like, it just feels as though it is hijacked by somebody else's plans. I've got to fit into their plans. This person made plans for me to go to dinner, so I've got to go there, because if I don't, then I'm considered, not a social butterfly, and I'm told that I'm too much of an introvert, and I'm told that I need to get out there. So now I feel the demand and the pressure to show up. And then they're thinking, if one more person demands a hug or asks me a personal question, I'm going to lose it. So there they are at this dinner, which they want to be at, but they don't want to be so involved in it. They just want to sit back, enjoy the company, and not feel like they're being asked these questions. It feels like an interrogation, sort of like, questions about work. When an avoidant attached person is out socializing, they don't want to think about work. They want to just relax and have fun. They don't want to talk about the project that they're working on. They don't want to talk about the heavy stuff. They just want to be out there with their friends playing. So let's try to keep things light. It often feels like they are being swallowed, like this individual that they are is being swallowed up into the togetherness. And why does this make sense? And what you can do? They need to feel like they're still their own person. So what happens is that the constant socializing feels like it's erasing their identity. They have no say in what they can or can't do or should or shouldn't do. So instead of having a packed schedule, try saying something like, hey, I know this season is a lot. I know the holidays are a lot. Let's make sure you get some time to just do your thing. If you want to game, you want to read, you want to be by yourself, you want to go for a walk, totally fine. Let me know when you start to feel a little overwhelmed, and you just take your time. Even if there's a dinner happening or we're at a party and you feel like it's a little too much for you, it's all right. Just step out, take your breathing space, just do your thing. Okay? That helps them to feel safe with you. They know that it's okay to be a human being while they're in the relationship and while there are obligations, that they can compromise, but they don't have to compromise who they are. Let's get into number 2, and this is a big one. Gifts feel like a trap. Gifts. It's a big thing. I remember once I was dating someone, I was in my 20s, and I got this person a watch for a birthday, and he lost it. He got so angry, and I was just so confused. I was like, what the hell is going on here? When does a person get so upset about receiving a beautiful gift? Then later on, I learned what it was, and I'm about to share that with you. Why does a gift feel like a trap? What's going on in their head? They're thinking, you handed me this big, expensive gift, and my stomach just dropped. It doesn't feel like a present. It feels like a bill. Now they feel like they owe you a huge emotional reaction and a lifetime of gratitude. They're thinking, I can feel you watching me, waiting for me to have this big, happy moment. And I just feel numb and panicked because in their head, they're thinking, oh my God, what am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to give them something as big as this, as expensive as this? Does this mean that I have to commit to them? What is going on? So it's too much pressure for them. They would feel better not getting anything than feeling guilty. And that's what a present is for them. Why is this so? Because they grew up in homes where they thought that they had to perform in order to get an approval. I have to, have great grades at school, or my parents are not going to think that I'm amazing. When I bring home the report card and it says I achieved A's in all of my classes, that's when I got that big reaction from my parents. So now you're giving me something as a report card, and I'm supposed to have this big reaction. But it also means that I have to give you something in return, and I'm not sure if I can deliver that. Okay, so if you've just started dating someone with an avoidant attachment style, it's best to just give them a card that says, I appreciate you. It's fun getting to know you. And they would so appreciate it because it is not intrusive to who they are. It doesn't tell them that, you've got to show up for me in this particular way. It's a simple card. It's a card of gratitude. It's a card that says, I see you. Give it a try and see their reaction to it. And from that, you can gauge what you can do the next time. The other thing about gift giving is wait to see what they're giving to you. If they're giving you something that is a little more, maybe a piece of jewelry, then you give them something sort of like maybe equivalent to that in value. So they're not left feeling inadequate. And how can you appreciate this? Imagine you have a friend and that friend keeps giving you very expensive presents all the time, but you can't afford to for whatever reason. You just can't match that at that time. Maybe you don't have a big enough salary. And this person keeps doing it, even though you say, hey, you really don't have to. You don't want to tell them, look, I feel inadequate here. How does that make you feel? It makes you feel inadequate in the relationship. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel pressured. It makes you feel overwhelmed. So they're going through the same thing. And if you're able to put yourself in their place, in their shoes, you'll be able to appreciate what they're going through. There's also a number 3, the pressure to be fake. So what's going on in their heads? Why is everyone pretending? All this forced cheer and happiness and joy, it's exhausting. And now they're thinking, I'm supposed to be super happy and open with my relatives. I don't know these relatives, and I don't even know if I like them. And then I'm supposed to go and post some mushy stuff online, and it feels so fake. They're thinking, I can't just flip a switch on different people. So I'm going to meet Joe, who I really like, and it's like, oh gosh, Joe, it's been so long. How has it been with you? I hope everything's great with you. And then Susie comes over, and oof, I've got some bad blood with Susie. So now I've got to be excited and pleasant and happy with Susie when she hurt me in the past. And then I'm going to meet Mom, who wants to stuff me with cookies that she just baked. And she's so proud of her cookies. But I can't because I just started this health plan, and cookies really doesn't work for my diabetes, but I don't know how to make her understand this. I don't want her to take it personally. So all of these things are going on in their heads. Whereas when you're anxious attached, as I was, we don't think about these things. We don't think about, how do I set boundaries with myself? How can I speak with this person that I really like, and then there's this other person that, hurt me and I need to stay away from them? Instead, what an anxious attached person do is fake it all the way, and they're comfortable with all of it. Oh, sure, Mom, I'll have that cookie, even though, I've got diabetes. And yeah, I just want you to be happy, and I want you to feel loved, and I don't want you to feel rejected. So I'm going to reject myself, and I'll have that cookie. So it's going to sort of make you happy. And okay, Susie, yeah, let's just get over what happened in the past, even though you really hurt me and you shouldn't have. And that's a big, big no-no. But yeah, let's just get over it. And for the sake of everyone and not to make it awkward, I'm just going to be really friendly with you. So the difference with an anxious attached and an avoidant attached person is an avoidant attached person wants to keep their autonomy and their independence. They want to have those boundaries, but in a setting where people are expecting so much of us, they feel the pressure, and that pressure is between choosing themselves and their boundaries and showing up the way society expects them to. Why does this make sense? A big gift can feel like an obligation, like I've explained before. It makes them feel, I'm sorry, my brain just switched over to the gift. So why does it make sense that they're feeling the pressure to be faked, or the pressure to be fake? They don't like anything that is not authentic. And you may say, well, they're not being consistent. Hang on, let me just grab some coffee just for a sec. Okie dokie, it's early on a Monday morning and I need some coffee. So let's get back to it. They don't like being authentic. And you're probably saying something like, well, you know what? They're inconsistent. They're not authentic. They met me and they were all hot and heavy, and now they're pulling away. That is them not liking the fakeness of a relationship. Yes, when they meet you, they like you. Yes, they want to meet you again because they liked you the first time. Yes, they're having fun. Yes, they may feel like this can last a lifetime, and they want it to. And then something happens and they realize, oof, this isn't really what I want. So, for example, I got a message from someone this morning and they said, I'm not sure if I should continue this relationship. I went in my partner's phone. We've been dating for about 6 months, and I went into their phone and I showed them some stuff that I just learned about them in their phone, right? So it means we're snooping, and now we're highlighting what we're saying, like, look, I went in your phone and this is what I saw and I don't like this. And the partner is saying, I am not comfortable with you going into my phone. Now, I've only known you for 6 months. If you're going in my phone now and you're picking up on stuff that you don't like, and you're getting upset with me about this, I'm not sure if this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Now, the person isn't saying that. The person is saying, I like you. I wish this can go somewhere. However, I'm not feeling comfortable. Now, it would be great if the avoidant could say something like, hey, you're going into my phone and you're getting upset at what you see and you're accusing me of stuff, and I'm not sure if this is something that I want. And I know you're probably saying that, oh, well, if you're in a relationship, then there should be transparency. Of course there should be transparency. I'm not against that at all. But we are prying into a person's mind. We can't get upset if they don't show us their diary. We can't get upset if someone doesn't divulge every thought they have. Me, for example, would I be upset if my partner went into my phone as someone who used to be anxiously attached and now more securely attached? Of course I'll be upset about it. Of course I would think, if you don't trust me in the relationship, if I've given you something here that makes you feel unsafe, that you shouldn't trust me, get out of the relationship. Have self-respect, choose you, get out of the relationship. But do not snoop into my phone. And here's my reason. It's not that I have something to hide. It is I have a lot to protect. I have friends who've chosen me to be their friend, not him, not my partner. And they're going to want to share things with me in confidence. That might be in a text. I have clients. Everything that I speak to my clients about is confidential. I do not want to think that anyone has access to text messages or emails that I might have between me and my clients. So it's not that when a person's hiding or they have a lock on their phone, a passcode, and they don't want their partner to know about it, it means that they're cheating. It can very well mean that they have their priorities right and they have their boundaries. My friends, again, did not choose my partner to be their friend. They chose me to be their friend. And so they are going to share things with me that they do not expect me to go in and share with my partner. Things that's their business. That's nobody else's business, just between me and them. Now, if they choose to say something about my partner, that is something I can say, no, that's something I'm going to share. But when, we've got to be able to see the specialness of each relationship and learn to keep them separate, but it doesn't mean that it's a betrayal to the next. For example, one friend might share something with me and I'm not going to go and share it with another one because it's nobody's business. It's not a gossip fest over here. All right. So yeah, the pressure of being authentic can be a little too much during the holiday seasons. So what can we do? Instead of a smile and asking, why are you so quiet? We get to say, you don't have to be anybody else but yourself. It's perfectly fine for you to feel overwhelmed. It's understandable to feel overwhelmed. These parties, or if you want to stay away from a particular person, you want to hide from another person. If you see someone coming towards you and you choose to go to the bathroom and escape for a little bit, that's all right. And what it helps them to do is know that with you, they can feel safe. With you, they don't have to act and pretend to be somebody that they're not, that you've got their back. Now, a big one, which is going to be the number 4, is something that I see a lot of my clients struggle with as well. It is they experience their avoidant attached person shutting down during holiday times. You might have noticed it during birthdays as well. That the avoidant attached person may appear depressed. They may isolate. And this happens when old wounds get reopened. What is going on in their head? Let's address that first. During holidays, it brings up a lot of bad memories for someone who's got an avoidant attachment style. The fighting, the disappointment, the feeling of never being good enough comes up a lot. If you have a holiday tree or songs or baking or get-togethers, it's sort of like a time machine where it takes them back to the kid that they were, where they learned that they had to stay out of the way. If not, they were a burden. They could not ask for what they wanted because they would be shut down. So they learned how to isolate during this time when everybody's busy getting the presents or getting the foods together, preparing the dinners. It's a very stressful time, especially for parents who want to organize these things, right? Organize a party, for example. And so when a child comes to their parent during this overwhelming time, they often get why don't you go play? Why don't you leave me alone? Don't you see that I'm busy? I don't have time for this. This is not important right now. You have a drawing that you want to show me? Not a big deal right now. Show it to me later. I've got things to do. And so they're constantly reminded with the hustle and the bustle that you're doing of what they felt like as a child. So in their minds, you're thinking that we're just having a dinner. But in their brain, they're reliving every past holiday that went wrong. And why does this make sense? The holidays can be a powerful, powerful trigger for any family stuff. And it's not just about the present moment. It's about their past that's haunting them. And it's not just about their childhood. It's going to be about the other relationships that they've had, other stuff that's happened during the holidays. So instead of thinking, just get over it, that it's Christmas, you want to try, I know the holidays can be tough for a lot of people. We can make our own traditions this year. Absolutely no pressure. So you want to start all over again, start new traditions, move away from the past. This shows you that you can see their pain and you're not dismissing it. Now, this took a long, long time for me to realize it because as someone who used to be anxiously attached, what I was trying to do was recreate the past, but try to have a happier outcome. So my mom passed away on Christmas Day, and Christmas was such a big deal for her. She loved Christmas. She was pregnant, and we were looking forward to having this baby, our baby sister, during the Christmas holidays. And my mom went into the doctor's office to have that baby. They were going to talk through, inducing labor and all the complications that goes through in a pregnancy. So it was time for the baby to come. She went in there on Christmas Eve. And she gave birth to a beautiful baby sister. And my mom passed away on Christmas morning. Complications with the birth. Had nothing to do with my sister, has everything to do with, not catching those complications or doing things to save my mom's life early enough. That's beside the point. The point is, on a very important day to my mom, to us at that time, my mom passed away. And every year since, what me and my sisters did was we amplified it. We went all out for Christmas. What I was doing was trying to erase that time, but by recreating it and having a different outcome, a better outcome. What I should have done, and which is what I do now, is I've changed the tradition. So I still put up a Christmas tree and I still do, the big Christmas lunch or dinner, but I don't have the same menu. There's just one thing that's traditional to Guyanese, our traditional Christmas in Guyana, which is making pepper pot. It's like a beef stew and bread, and we have that for Christmas morning for breakfast. That's the only thing. But I've changed everything since. And what I didn't realize is that there's that little girl, or there was that little girl in me who wanted to have Christmas as it was when my mom was there, not realizing that it's a time of the past. So no matter what I can do, or what I do, I cannot bring mom again. I cannot bring back mom again. So it's so important that when we get into new relationships, that we change a few things up instead of trying to recreate the past and have a different outcome. We just want to sit with our partner, talk to them about what would these holidays look like for you. And regardless of what holiday it is, I'm not saying specifically Christmas. I know, it's a time of Hanukkah as well. What do you want the holidays to look like there's Kwanzaa. What do you want that holiday to look like so that we could create something for ourselves now? Something that's new, something that we could look forward to next year and not dread it like we've done in the past. Let's talk about number 5. It is just too much. An avoidant attached person thinks that it is too much. And oh my gosh, as a secure attached person now, I get it. It is difficult to put aside work. It is difficult for me to put aside the just being with the people I love, to prepare the cakes, the meals, to be so busy getting everything, rushing about, getting the shopping done, setting the table, making sure everything's perfect. And all I want to do now as a securely attached person is just to sit with the people I love. I don't want to spend so much time in the kitchen. I don't want to spend so much time preparing the stuff. And then I'm sitting at the table and I'm exhausted and I'm unable to enjoy people. And that isn't to say that I don't enjoy preparing and cooking for others. It's just that now as a secure attached person, I try to find a balance in it. So we've got Thanksgiving coming up. My partner and I, for the first time, we're hosting Thanksgiving lunch. It's also a very special day for him. And, it's looking for how can we do this together where it's not stressful and have other people involved. So I get to make the mashed potatoes with my daughter, and I get to do that just me and her. I get to do deviled eggs with my son, and I get to do that just me and him in the kitchen together. My partner, and all my kids, my partner, they have that avoidant attachment tendency. So a lot of this is also balancing their emotions and my own. And now as a secure attached person, I'm more on their page where it's like, okay, let's not do too much. Let's spend more time together. Let's make sure that this is fun. Let's make sure that this is enjoyable. And at the same time, we're still getting a whole lot done. But we're able to just relax. Like yesterday, my partner and I went to get the turkey. And I went to get the turkey. He went to get something else. We met up. Then we searched for another ingredient and we relaxed through it. Then we went to another supermarket. We picked up just a few items, not a whole lot, where we're like carrying these heavy bags and it's becoming tiresome and burdensome. And we stopped. We had some coffee along the way at a new cafe, and we just made it a fun experience. But it's not like in the past where I would have wanted to do all of the shopping in one day, and then we're just so incredibly exhausted at the end of the day. So try to space out your shopping, we've got, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving or you're doing anything for Thanksgiving, not that I believe that it's a day to be celebrated. If you're doing anything for Thanksgiving, try to have fun with it. Try to have fun. And the reason I promote having fun is I recognize that we don't have a very, very long time on this planet. Not yet. Science has not really given us anything concrete as yet to extend our lives. And if we're going to be here on this beautiful planet for 120 years or thereabout, let's try to have fun. Let's try to complain less, make it less work, and have fun with it. So when an avoidant attached person is thinking about the holidays and, thinking this is too much, what's really going on in their head is that they're thinking the lights are too bright, the music's too loud, everyone's talking at once, this is too much food, too many smells. I feel like I'm short-circuiting. And as I say this, I'm thinking this is kind of like me in Times Square. I'm trying to avoid Times Square as much as I can. For those of you who don't know, I live in Manhattan, and we try to avoid rush hours. I try to avoid rush hours. I try to avoid Times Square. I try to avoid the crowds, and I'm not avoidant attached. It's just that when we become securely attached and we're trying to protect our energy, we're trying to be an individual in a very busy environment, we want to make sure that we keep our bodies as calm as we possibly can. We recognize the importance of protecting our energies because we can see that things can get very overwhelming very fast, especially since as a secure attached person and an avoidant attached person would know, we try to prioritize so many things in our lives. We've got really good friends. We've got family members. We might have children. We've got a career going, and then we've got our partner. So there is a lot to balance, and you want to be able to protect your energy. And we recognize that too much, especially things, loud music, a lot of people talking at once, can become overwhelming. And why does this make sense? It's often a physical reaction. Nervous system can get overload. It happens more often and easily for avoidant attached persons, where their nervous system can become quickly overloaded. And it's kind of like having a computer that's, running on too many softwares at the same time. So instead of going up to your partner when they're zoned out or in a corner and asking, like, what's your problem? You can try, I get it, it's really loud in here. And you can get it if you pull yourself out of the scenery that you're in, out of the party that you're in, and look at it and ask, okay, is this too stimulating if I have to stop and focus on it? As an anxious attached person, you may not be able to stop and focus on it because you're a part of it. You're in there. You're with the shouting. You're with the laughter. But pull yourself out of it. Look at the scenery from outside of you and ask, okay, if I'm to just take this all in, does it feel like too much? Does it seem too much? And you'll be shocked at what you see. You'll be shocked at seeing it the way it actually is for someone who can easily remove themselves from a situation and look at it from an individual point of view instead of a collective. An individual point of view will probably see it as overwhelming, chaotic, loud, aggressive, too much. Okay? Again, always, it's advisable to always offer your avoidant attached partner an out. You can always say, hey, I get it. This might become overwhelming for you. Even if you don't understand it, even if it's not overwhelming for you, if it's fine with you, that's good. You know what's best for you. I'm just here to help you understand what goes on in the mind of an avoidant attached person. And we don't have to ask them to compromise their nervous system so that we can feel happier in the relationship and, say to our friends, oh, here's my partner. My partner's here with me. And, yes, it's overwhelming, but they're showing up for me. No, you don't have to do that. You can allow your partner to be an individual, respect that, and say, hey, it's okay if you need to step out a little bit. I totally get it. And they will step out. They're going to breathe. They're going to self-regulate, self-soothe, and they'll come right back and continue enjoying that time with you. Let me know in the comment section your takeaways from this particular podcast. I am sorry I was a little glitchy with giving this message. It could be Monday morning. It could be that I haven't completed that cup of coffee. However, I hope you got the message, and I will see you on the next episode. I'm your host, Annalisa Bahadur, and this has been another episode of Decoding Attachment Styles.